probably seen these before. These things I'm about to do a cage review on. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for clicking on this video and enduring the torture of what you've seen so far of my struggle. It took me 10 minutes to set up this tiny tank. I was about to call it a tank. I don't know if you can tell if I'm a fish person or not, because I just called this habitat a tank. Now right now I don't have any small pets. I used to have mice and I've had hamsters in the past before I started YouTube. But I work at a pet store, and unfortunately we do sell these cages at the store that I work. I ended up checking out one of these cages. My goodness. I had mentioned that tanks are good for hamsters and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, I think I found what I want. The person said, I think I found what I want. And they went with one of these. It made me so angry inside. And just, we need to do something about these. So I'm going to talk about this cage a little bit. I don't know if you noticed me struggling in the video at all, but it took 10 minutes. I'm going to time lapse it, so it's going to be less than that, but it took me 10 minutes to set this cage up. Now, part of the sad thing is these are geared for children mostly, because some of these I've heard come with sticker books. So, lovely. Oh, and if you're new to my channel, that noise is my bird Raphael. He loves tweeting whenever I make a video. They're geared for children, and not all small animals are good for children. It depends on how old they are. So first off, let's start with the size of this tank. I want to say it's 1 foot long, and maybe almost another foot long wide. So it's 1 foot long. And this is geared for hamster, gerbil, mice, plural of everything if you noticed. Now, what I wanna say is this here, a foot of space to go back and forth, is barely even big enough for one hamster, let alone two. And also, mice are very curious animals. They need their brains to be working. At night, they skittle around chewing on stuff, and they need space to exercise. Now, you may notice that this came with an exercising wheel that I was bright enough to know how to put in right away. I'll give you a close-up. It's about as big as my hand, and it's got these nice little bumples for the animal to grip their feet on. Now, the bad thing about this is how small this wheel is. When small rodents run on the wheel, you might notice their back is crooked and like it's bent inwards, and that is not good for their body to have their back just bent like that when they're running. So first off, this wheel is too small. I don't know if there's anything wrong. Oh, this is a hanging. This is a hanging hideout. So I guess I was supposed to hang it. What in the world? If I put this back in here. Oh, so it saves floor space. So that they have more room to run around. So if I put this right here. Let's see, let's put it back a little bit more. Okay. So that's like the only spot I could put it, except for maybe to the side. A little more. Here we go. I am learning some architecture, not even architecture, interior designing. So there we go, guys. Look at how much floor space we are saving by hanging it up so it swings every single time the animal moves. And then it comes with this amazing plastic food dish. I don't know if there's too much wrong with plastic food dish, but I have heard that metal is a better one to like clean out. And then this water bottle is also a problem. So let's see, does it say how much bedding we need for this? I'm gonna go here and look in the instructions. I saw something about bedding earlier. Lovely instructions. Don't even see where I saw anything about bedding. Am I blind? I know I saw something about bedding. Anyway, a lot of people say it'll be like 2 to 3 inches of bedding. It's hard to get a good angle here. 2 to 3 inches of bedding. But if I have 2 to 3 inches of bedding at the least, that's gonna be filling up the plastic. So then, by the time the bedding is 2 to 3 inches, that's right at this water bottle thing. So like the hamster or mouse is gonna have to like either be buried in the bedding, or you're just gonna have to have like a super thin layer of bedding, or they'll have to like crank their neck, and that's like not good for them to drink. Like you don't want to drink your water with your neck like this, do you? I don't think so, because if you have it even 2 inches thick, they'll have to do that, and it's just not good. And please help me. And also this would probably end up, you would have to figure out a way to keep this higher up. This is probably good though, because if you have 3 inches, then it's actually not too low. But the main thing about this cage is spacing. You need to have good toys and spring stimulators in a cage. You can't just have an exercise wheel, because they need to work their brains in order to thrive and have a good, happy life. And there's just not room. Sure, you might be able to put a few things on the side, but then that's just on the side. They don't have much room to burrow and dig at all, really. Think of it like living in your bathroom. Like if you had to live in your bathroom your whole life, and you got to maybe, I don't know, go outside and take a walk once every week. My light is flashing really bad, isn't it? There we go. There's a little better. It's a weird view. Okay, anyway, I'll get on with this because it's getting really long. But if you see how small this is, like first off, this door, you could barely get your hand in. And let's just say my hand's a hamster. I'm gonna take this nest out so it's easier to see. Let's say this is the hamster. Ooh, my fist. It's really hard to see, guys. I'm gonna take this lid off, if I can actually do it. This was a very confusing cage to set up. Kind of confusing. See if I don't break it. So if this is the hamster, right? I could probably take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps to get across the whole cage. And if you got pent up energy, you're only going to be able to use it on this. And if you have this hanging, you're really not going to have room because they're going to want a sleeping spot, and they're not going to want to sleep by their water because water is really bad for hamsters if your hamster gets overly wet. So they won't want to sleep here. So they'll want to sleep here, and then if you have a toy here, there's no room whatsoever, because the food dish is also on the floor, to have a good mental stimulation, to have lots of varieties of toys, varieties of hideouts. It's just not good. And yes, they do say that there's expansions. You can add tunnels to this. But first off, the tunnels are extremely small, and the animal will not be able to turn around fully inside of them, which means if you make it so long that they won't be able to stop and get water, they won't be able to stop, and like, I'm not personally super claustrophobic, but if you're claustrophobic, you know what it feels like to be stuck in a small area. And then you get like all panicky inside. So if you make one of their tunnels too long, your animal could freak out, and it just would not be good. Even just connecting two of these cages together is not going to do it justice, because that's still only 5 steps one way, 5 steps the next way that they can use to stretch their legs. It's just really not a good environment, and my goodness, it was confusing to put together, honestly. Like, I kind of looked at the instructions. There's more I can talk about this. I think there's going to be a part 2 with me going through the instructions, or at least talking about what they say in here. It's just a bad cage. Please do your research before you buy any animal. There is, I'm sure, plenty of animal cage reviews on these particular cages. Please don't fall for them. It's just not good. It's barely good for one O-N-E, one small animal, let alone more than one. That's all I'm gonna say for this video, guys. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate your feedback. If you didn't enjoy, if you love these things and think these are the greatest things ever, you can go ahead and give it a thumbs down, because I'm leaving a 0-star review on this cage. Plus it's like 40 or 50 bucks for a torture chamber. There are other ways you can have a good sized animal cage. My goodness, there is going to be a part 2, I will promise. But yeah, for now, if you enjoyed this and would like to learn more about animals, please subscribe. I try and do at least one animal video a week, if not more, which I haven't been doing good at. And I'll stop blabbering on, because this is a long video. So, thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day or night. And I'll see y'all in my next video.